Hey there, people. Today we are going to be talking about this little deck right here. It's a long lost friend because I've had it for a while, but I haven't used it in a while. And it's called the Pink Pain Tarot by a company called Dark Cinevere. We're here to actually take a look at this deck. Now, some of y'all may have seen this. There's a funny story for me when it comes to this deck. Do you guys see this little black dot right here? That black dot is there because I actually have a crystal ball, and I had it on my altar, and I always propped up a deck against it, like, ooh, let me make a nice little Insta-worthy scene. And I was working at my kitchen table, and all of a sudden I saw some smoke coming off my altar, and my crystal ball burnt a hole right through this baby. So unfortunately, let me show you real quick. There's one card in the deck that has been marked. I don't know if you can see it, but right here you can see a little blot. So that kind of ruined the whole deck for me because I was acting like a child, and kind of put me off using it for a while. But today I was kind of like, or this week I was kind of like, I want to use this again because this is so good. So yeah, let's look at the cards and do a little bit of a deep dive. So this is the Major Arcana, and it's a really punk rock deck. I love it. It's the best. So the first card we see is the Fool. It's so amazing. Let me put the rest down here. So we've got the Fool, and it's this cute little girl. She looks like she's gonna go on an adventure. She has her little like hair in like two buns, and she has this pentagram hanging above her, and it's sort of a, it's really giving me that teen witch vibe, but cool. And not as in childlike wannabe witch vibes. So yeah, she looks like she could have been an extra member of the Coven and the Craft. So yeah, she's definitely going on an adventure. Then we have the Magician. Look at this cool guy. Like, he's so smooth, conjuring up this flame with his pink hair, you know, like, he's the stud in the school playground, and you know it. With his fashion forward jacket, this guy's got swag. So I really love how absurd and left off center and off kilter this whole deck is. What you can't really see on camera, and I kind of hate that, is that this deck looks pink on white, right? But it's not. It's kind of like this grayish textured background, and you can't see it on camera, but if you ever like get a chance to order this deck isn't white. It's very, very much grayish. Maybe I can show you guys by, yeah, I can definitely show you guys by holding the title card up against the little white book. So if it's all right, you can kind of see the difference. And this little white book with divinatory instructions is a whole other story on its own, but we'll get to that later. Anyways, Magician, coolest guy ever. I want to be him. I want to be just like him. I'm thinking about dressing up like him for Halloween. So there's him. Then we have this awesome High Priestess shooting laser beams from her eyes. I just love how absurd this deck is. It's very much an art deck. It's not that deep, but it's pretty cool. Very stylish, very kawaii, very dark as well. So yeah, there's a lot going on behind those eyes. You can instantly tell. So I kind of love that. Then we have the Empress casually smoking a cigarette, minding her own business. She doesn't really give off Empress vibes. She more or less gives off Queen of Swords vibes, actually. Then we have the Emperor. Let me see real quick. He's kind of like wearing this boa. He has an air of mystery about him. I mean, I actually love this. So some of the cards are kind of silly, goofy, make it very obvious that this is more or less an art deck. Look at these backs, by the way, love them. However, some of them have like really, really interesting symbolism. For example, this Hierophant right here, he has his hands close together as if he's praying, but from this hands, there's like these energy beams that are kind of tying around him, holding him in its place. I really kind of love that symbolism. That really is that 5 energy. So that's pretty cool because 5 is usually about, you know, sudden changes, hardships. So yeah, kind of love that. Then we have the cutest, the Lovers. I mean, look at him. Look at this Lovers card. Such a cute Cupid. The Lovers is all about choice. Cupid is making choices. I love this. This artist is really good. She's doing some other decks for them as well. Her name is Dasha Zeleno. It's a really cool company. All of their artists are from Russia, from the Ukraine, so you kind of get that like awesome Eastern European aesthetic. The Chariot moving the cats with his or her mind, like it's all very genderless. All the characters are very genderless. I kind of love that. Yeah, really cute. Then we have Strength, Girl with the Snake. It's all very kawaii, very Japan vibes going on. One of my favorite cards from the deck, the Hermit, and he's got that, you know, energy kind of bursting within, but this is definitely that introverted kid at school that has a lot more to offer than he's showing right now. There's a lot of energy bubbling underneath the surface, a lot of knowledge, like love it. Then we have the wheel. I mean, aesthetically, it's very pleasing. Does it make all the sense in the world? No, but is it a cute Wheel of Fortune card? Yes, probably one of the cutest Wheel of Fortune cards I've ever seen. I'm generally not the biggest fan of the wheel, so yeah, this is pretty cool. And as you may have noticed, all the card titles are in English and then also in Japanese and in Chinese, so I think that actually adds to the coolness of the deck, but yeah. So this is Justice. I mean, she's blinded. She's blindfolded. Not really seeing the Justice symbolism in here. And this may sound like I'm being negative about this deck, but I actually love it. So then we have the Hanged Man right here. He has this noose around his neck. Sort of that ring around his head. Don't know why, kind of giving me that. What's that planet's name again with the rings? Isn't that Saturn? Yeah, kind of giving me Saturn vibes. I should probably know if the Hanged Man is tied to Saturn, but I'm not bothered enough to actually look it up. But yeah, pretty cool. Then we have Death, and this is one of my favorites. So we have this super interesting skull that's kind of levitating above the body. All these flowers growing out of it. The Death is holding these masks. It's really interesting symbolism right there. Then we have Temperance, which is kind of this this girl holding 2 wine bottles, which is pretty cool actually, and I think they're different colors too, so I think she's gonna be mixing up some wine cocktails later. And then we have the Devil, very seductive, and you know, like as I said, I love this deck. I don't take it too seriously all the time because it is very obviously an art deck, but aren't there are so many art decks out there that get so much more respect than they deserve, and I think that aesthetically this deck is very pleasing, and you know, like I know how I read my cards. I don't really depend on an image. So this is actually pretty cool. Kind of love it. Then we have the tower. Now this is really interesting actually. So we have this infant growing up, and as he's grown up he's getting more and more scars on his face. So there's a really interesting symbology going on here that I could delve deeper into, but I'm not gonna, because I wanted to upload something nice and quick and cute for once. Then we have the star. Nothing special here, but it's the star. It's cute. It looks really good. Then we have the moon. Really, really, really aesthetically pleasing. Once again, all these colors really resonate with me. I'm a sucker for a good pink, violet, purple, red moment. So yeah, this is really great. And then we have the sun. Also, yeah, it's a sun card. I'm always happy when there's no muscle baby on the sun. So yeah, really happy about that. And then we have the Judgment card. Now this is kind of weird, right? Sometimes it's very much random imagery that kind of has something to do with the tarot. For this one, it's very, very clear. Like, this guy is standing up from his grave and he's looking upwards and he's being called, like, with these huge ass laser beams shooting from his eye. And then we have the most nonsensical card in the whole deck, the World. Could have been literally anything else, but it looks good. I mean, I kind of want to, and it's, by the way, it's the World card that has that speck on the back, because there was actually black gunk from the box where the burn was on this card. So, do I take this deck super seriously? No. Do I love the artist's work? Do I love the aesthetic? Do I love the look and feel of it? Yes. I mean, this deck has awesome linen cardstock. People always get really upset when linen cardstock is thin. Well, newsflash, linen cardstock is very flexible, but it's also very durable. So yeah, this deck shuffles like a dream. The backs are gorgeous. So that was the majors. Now let's delve into the minors, and the minors are actually very interesting. So we have the Ace of Bottles right here. So this is bottles. Then we have the Two of Bottles. So there's actually more symbolism in the Pippish minors than there is in majors. So these two bottles coming together, right? Then we have the Three of Bottles. It's almost like they're looking at the sunset together. I don't know if that translates well on camera, but definitely that chill vibe going on. And then we have Four of Bottles with a random pink gun. I mean, we can kind of see that. This is so ridiculous. Like, for example, this one, even numerologically, doesn't really have anything to do. It would have been better if one of the bottles wasn't. Like, this bottle is shot to pieces right there, so it's only half of the bottle. Would have been a little bit better if it would have been just four, like a structure. And yeah, but that gun is pretty freaking awesome. I got some feedback a couple of weeks ago that I was blocking the cards with my hands. I have very chubby fingers, so sorry about it. The Five of Bottles. Not really seeing that struggle of the five in here either. Six of Bottles. What the hell? I've never pulled this card. What is that even? Six of Cups. What is Six of Cups again? Oh yeah, that's that childhood memory. Well, there are two like bones levitating over the bottle, and there's smiley faces on the bottle, so maybe that it's a very creepy childhood memory, but it definitely is one. And then we have Seven of Bottles, which is usually about all these cups with their choices, and you have to make the right choice, right? Well, these are all very nicely tied together in a net or in a grocery bag. So, like I said, it's not that deep, but it's a very aesthetically pleasing deck. So here we have the 8, we have the 9, We have the 10. Don't know what the hell this is, but sure as hell looks cute. Kind of looks like a moon. And then we have the page, very youthful energy. We have the knight, a little bit tougher, like he's downing that bottle, all right. Then we have the queen, very distinguished, very sweet looking. And then we have the king, and he's like the master of emotions, balancing that bottle on his head. I mean, it's pretty sweet. It's a cute deck. I like it. Not everything has to be that serious all the time. I mean, I love it. If we can have decks with with freaking I don't know. I'm not gonna talk smack about any other decks right now, but then we go into the Ace of Knives, which is very aggressive. The suit of knives. So we have the Ace of Knives, where this knife is cutting off all these fingers. Yay! Then we have the Two of Knives. They're balancing these two knives on two fingers, so that's pretty cool. Then we have the Three of Knives. They're very bloody. So with the minors, the artist kind of tried to convey the Rider-Waite-Smith meanings. I mean, it's cute. I'll just read it for what it is. I'll read it as a pip deck. I mean, Four of Knives, that structure that we can see in the RWS Four of Knives is kind of there, right? Then we have the 5. Once again, not really seeing that struggle phase that we usually do see. Then we have the 6. 6 of Knives with that little kitty. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's quite aggressive. The 7 of Knives, we have these knives sticking into the skull from the bottom. Okay. And then we have the 8 of Knives, kind of giving me more 9 of Knives energy, actually. But once again, it looks really cool. It looks really aesthetically pleasing. It looks badass. Oh, actually, this 9 of Knives actually makes sense. You know, it's that what's keeping you up at night feeling. So yeah, it's very bloody. It's very aggressive. And then we have 10 of Knives. The face has been completely removed. This is actually pretty sweet. The ego has been completely destroyed in order for you to start anew. And then we go to the court. We have the, oh, that's the wrong way around. We have the Page of Knives. And this knife is pointing at her neck, apparently. Cute. Then we have the Knight. He's a little bit more in control. Although, yeah, look at him with his suave glasses and earring. Yeah, totally in control. Then we have the Queen. She has a knife sticking from her head and blood spraying from her head. And then we have the King, who has a knife for an earring. And is that like a bomb.com piercing from his nose? Yeah, that's like a really cool chain piercing from his nose. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty rad. Then we have the Suit of Pills, otherwise known as the Suit of Pentacles. So we have the Ace of Pills. A pill is being handed to you. Yay. The Two of Pills. This is just ridiculous and I love it. The Three of Pills with this cool, like, dog skull, I think. Oh, well, now all of a sudden we jump to the Seven of Pills. That's really interesting. Once again, I thought I had sorted this out, but apparently I didn't. That's okay. We can handle it. No harm done. Four of Pills, that structure is there. 5 of Pills, that struggle is there. I mean, that bony skeleton is not looking good. 6 of Pills, don't know what the hell this is supposed to mean. 7 of Pills. 8 of Pills, this is really cool though. Like, I really love the imagery, even though it has nothing to do with any tarot system or any tarot meanings. 9 of Pills, and 10 of Pills, the full strip, baby. So, yeah. And then we have the Page of Pills, this cute little nurse. We have the Knight of Pills. This is one of my favorite cards from the whole deck. I love it. Then we have the Queen of Pills. She's obviously the head nurse. And then we have the King of Pills, which is fucking the devil, which Satan, which I love. I love this King of Pills, so it's so rad, so cool. And then we have the last suit, which is the suit of cigarettes, also known as the suit of wands. So we have the ace, which is this bird casually smoking a cigarette, 2 of cigarettes, 3 of cigarettes, 4 of cigarettes. I'm just gonna flip through them now. 5, we do kind of get that struggle of the 5, so that's good. 6 of cigarettes, 7 of cigarettes. Really cool though. You know, this is actually the box. I mean, oh, whoops. This is actually the box. I love that the box is designed like it's a box of cigarettes. Like, everything about this deck just oozes edginess and coolness, with total disregard for any of the meanings and traditions of the tarot. I mean, 9 of cigarettes. 10 of cigarettes, once again, kind of has that Rider-Waite-Smith meaning, where she's just basically this is a person drowning in a pool of ashy water, still smoking their cigarette. And then we have the Page of cigarettes. The Knight, also really adorable with that little horse right there. The Queen, and the King. So yeah, this is very much a like super rebellious tarot deck, and like I said before, it doesn't really follow any system at all. It doesn't have any respect for the tarot at all, but they are kind of justified because this is a very special tarot deck where the meanings don't always make a whole lot of sense. For example, the Fool, windiness, all right. Nonsense, deceit, never heard that for the Fool. The Magician, boredom. The High Priestess makes sense. I mean, I'm not going to go through all of them. The Lovers, murder. As soon as I saw this, I was kind of like, yeah, we're not actually going to take this seriously. So what they do is they kind of devise their own divinatory instructions, and they take that very seriously. But yeah, this deck is very nonsensical, very cute, very edgy, very aesthetically pleasing. Look at this cool pink edging. It's really good. The quality is great. The linen cardstock, I don't know if you can see it right now or if it shows the reflection, but the linen cardstock is really thin, but makes it so that the deck is really, really, really easy to shuffle. It just glides through your hand. Kind of is like a thinner version of that Usi cardstock, which is really, really thin, really slippery as well, but is a little bit thicker than this. But I mean, let me not try to showboat that much. This riffle shuffles like a freaking dream. I love the pink edging. I love how cool it is. And sometimes we're allowed to love silly things. So that was my quick, not so quick review of the Pink Pain Tarot. I hope you enjoyed, and bye-bye.